However, I will say this. One of the things that I love, that really, that I love about politics, is the hilarity of watching the left trip over its own narrative. There's nothing funny. If you don't have a sense of humor about absurdity, you shouldn't be following politics. I mean, politics, the thing that I love about politics is the absurdity, and the absurdity on the left is very strong. The left hates Trump so much now that all Trump has to do is say black and they say white. He says white, they say black. It doesn't matter. So Trump comes out, and you all heard about this, Trump comes out and he says MS-13 are animals. They're not people, they're animals. Now, this is MS-13 is a Central American gang. Their slogan is kill, rape, control. But because Trump said it, the left can't stand it. And so they come out and they say, well, you can't call people animals. Here is Nancy Pelosi rushing to the defense of the poor babies at MS-13.
We believe, some of us who are attracted to the political arena, to government and public service, that we're all God's children. And so when the President of the United States says about undocumented immigrants, these aren't people, these are animals, you have to wonder, does he not believe in the spark of divinity, the dignity and worth of every person? Calling people animals is not a good thing.
All right, the spark of divinity. And what I love about this is not only has Trump maneuvered Nancy Pelosi into defending people who beat children to death with baseball bats and eat the hearts of their victims. So that's Nancy Pelosi's constituency from now on. But now she's talking about a spark of divinity. So here's my question. When does this spark of divinity enter the body? Okay, because Nancy Pelosi is a big, big abortion fan. So I just want to know how this works technically. I just want to ask the theology here. When does the spark of divinity enter the body? Because it's obviously not a conception, obviously not when the baby is growing and when it becomes obviously a baby in a woman's stomach, in a woman's womb. Not then. It's not then. Is it after the baby comes out? Is that when the spark magically enters the body? Or do you have to join MS-13 first? That's what I want to know. Do you get the spark when you're born? You know, their narrative is so crazy. There was a case in Arlington, Virginia. A doctor slipped an abortion pill into his pregnant girlfriend's tea. It caused the girl to have an abortion, and he was sentenced to 20 years in prison for the crime of fetal homicide, right? Now, he's only going to serve 3 years in prison. I think he'll serve only 3 years. But it's fetal homicide. So I asked myself the question, why is it homicide when he does it, but if she does it, it's a woman's right to choose, it's health care? So I tweeted that over the weekend. I said, why is it homicide when he does it, but it's health care when she does it? And of course, the left went nuts, and they come after me and they start screaming, don't you understand the meaning of the word consent? It's about consent. And I thought, I understand the meaning of the word consent, but I also understand the meaning of the word homicide, because homicide, look it up, it's the killing of a human being by another human being. You can't consent to that. It doesn't matter if I say, oh, my producer Rob made a mistake. I consent to his killing. Go ahead, take him out. And then they come and say, well, you killed Rob. And yes, but he had my consent to kill Rob. So it's fine. It's fine. That's why, and that is why, when we see President Trump, he brought back this Reagan-era rule. This is great. That would pull federal birth control funds from clinics that sell abortion, which means Planned Parenthood. This could cost them in what they call Title X funds to the tune of about $80 million a year. And this is a beautiful thing. And when people wonder why, Trump has done bad stuff and he, slept with a porn star and paid her off, maybe, all this stuff, you think and they make fun of evangelicals for supporting him because he hasn't lived an evangelical life, maybe hasn't even lived a Christian life. Yes, but he's doing this stuff. When he does this stuff, I'm sorry, it's homicide. It's homicide. If you can be convicted of poisoning a fetus in a woman's body, if you can be convicted of homicide, then it's homicide when she does it too. It's homicide when she does it too. And that is the thing that is actually, it's kind of delightful that the left has tied itself in these knots and made itself so crazy that they can't, they can't get out of their own logic. All right.